Hey there, welcome back. Last time on G&T Sailing, we finished our projects that were best done on the hard and raced the clock to complete the stainless projects in time to meet our splash date. We'll see when we end up splashing. Doesn't look like Friday. Hopefully sooner than Wednesday. Hopefully these guys at Marina Seca can work some magic for us. Fingers crossed. Welcome to G&T Sailing. If you're new here, I'm Gretchen and this is Tim. Together, aboard Felicita, our Catalina 42, we're exploring this beautiful marvel we call home. You'll find us this season sailing further south along Mexico's Pacific coast and deeper into the Sea of Cortez. We don't care where we go, we just care that we go, and we're glad you're coming along for the ride.
Mexico is Sexico!
So we are almost exactly 24 hours away from splashing the boat, and we are really hoping that this is the situation tomorrow morning with no wind. That will make docking extremely easy tomorrow if it looks like this. I just got awesome news about our slip assignment for going into the water tomorrow. Tim is gonna be so excited. I've got some great news for you.
What?
Guess what our slip assignment is tomorrow?
S1.
No.
What?
An in-tie on B-Dock.
Oh, really? That's awesome news.
Yeah.
That is awesome news.
Splash day. Looks very calm out there. We are leaving in just a few minutes to head over to the storage yard, work yard where the boat's on the hard, to bring it back here to the marina and put the old girl in the water. Okay, it looks like our ride is here. Good morning.
About the engine starting. Just can't imagine it sits for 6 months, 6.5 months.
What did we do to get it ready to come out of the water?
Just fresh water through it is all I did.
We serviced it.
I changed the oil.
Yeah. Put fresh water.
I mean, there's no reason it shouldn't start.
Yep.
But I'm worried. I don't know why.
Well,
I'm not worried. I hate that
I
word.
agree with you.
Alright, this is off. This is all good. You ready? Alright, here we go.
Alright, go down. A little touch of reverse.
The stern's gonna come around. There you go. We're going to the other end, right? Watch the bow, watch the bow, watch the bow. You good? There you go. All right. I'm in neutral. Pretty good. Here.
Okay. Cool.
All right, fire down. Next.
No drama for our first maneuver of the season. What's happening?
I carry around all these frickin' screws, and every time I need one, I never have the one that I need. There's fine threads, metric, standard. Bullshit, John. Mamadas, as they say in Spanish.
What's that mean?
Yeah, I got it. Take that solar panel down. Put the bimini back on. Then put all 3 solar panels back up. And there's just one of these clamps out of 12 needs something that I don't have.
But we can put the solar panel on and do that later.
Yeah, I gotta glue something together.
Well, it can go on even without it being screwed. Can it not?
Yeah.
I mean, not ideal, but it's not. That shouldn't be slowing us down today with all of the stuff we have to do.
Correct.
Spoken like a true project manager. Critical path, baby.
Not an engineer.
Critical path. Yeah, this is the difference between project manager and engineer. Engineers want
things done right.
Engineers want things done right now. Stop everything to get the thing that's right in front of them done right now, even though there are a million things, and that one thing can be done right later, and it doesn't really cost
Amazing how you
very much to carry on without it.
You say that it's like it's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. I'm just saying this is the difference. I'm not saying it's a good or bad. It is what it is. It just is. But it is a totally two different ways of thinking about carrying projects forward. You need both. You need both. You need that creative project tension. And we've got that here on Felici Talk. Your end of the day report.
The struggle is real. It was a struggle today, but we got through it like we always do. But man, what a day.
I'm super relieved. Big day. Solar panels installed, enclosure, or at least Dodger and Bimini installed. Tim is hooking up the electric to the solar right now. We got probably half the stuff out of storage and brought to the boat and put onto the boat. We unpacked boxes and went through them twice looking for a part that fell into the water. We had a spare, couldn't find it, but we did finally find it after we had a huge fight and went through a bunch of boxes. That was a little frustrating for both of us.
Tensions were high.
Tensions were high.
Show.
Yeah, we introduced ourselves to our boat neighbors. Gave them a little taste of what boat therapy looks like.
The Bickersons are here.
The Bickersons are here. Real. Okay. Tim says electrics are hooked up. Let's turn them on. Just in time for the sun to set. So Tim just dropped me off at the boat. We now have everything here except for the few parts that he's bringing back from Arizona when he flies back in a few days. So now my task is to start finding a place to stow all of this stuff. I have to admit, it feels a little bit vulnerable to be left in Mexico with the boat with none of our friends around. I've met a few people on the dock since we got here yesterday, and I'm sure if I needed anything I could ask. I'm not scared, but it does feel a little, I don't know, it just feels a little bit vulnerable. I don't have a car. I don't know anybody. I don't speak Spanish. And hopefully, frankly, my greatest fear is that the marina comes and says, hey, we need you to move your boat because we need somebody else to come in where you are. Because if that happens, that's going to be interesting. I'm happy to report that Tim made it to Arizona safe and sound. He had to sit at the border for 2 hours to wait to cross. So he said it was all easy peasy. So the car's back in Arizona for the next 7 months. And one more thing checked off the list. Rosa gave me a ride for propane today. And Jim. Tim's back.
Yeah, what a whirlwind trip that was.
So how'd it go getting through customs?
I was a little bit anxious because I threw all the stuff, we bought all that stuff that we had shipped to my dad's house. I took everything out of the original packages and just threw it in the bag, but your Cointreau, I wrapped that up and hid it down under, not really hid it, but just it's down in the bottom. And
yeah.
It's a bunch of stuff. So I did 2 big duffels, and I had a pair of shorts, a shirt, and some pajamas for clothes. So everything else is boat parts. When you get through customs, the passport, and then you go to this, you get your bags, and then you got to go run the bags through the machine. But before you do that,
You have to
they
declare.
ask you got anything to declare, alcohol, tobacco, or something like that. I go, nope, just boat parts for my boat. I was thinking I was being honest. And then she goes, I need you to push this button. And I push this red button, and a red light shows up, and I'm like,
Red light.
then I was thinking, yeah, exactly. So they opened this one first, my computer bag. They asked me if I was here on business or pleasure, and I told them in my best Spanish that I'm sailing my sailboat for the next 6 months down in the Sea of Cortez. And then they were asking about the boat and stuff, and they were really nice. They looked in here, they opened up the one duffel bag that doesn't really have much in it, and I threw my pillow on top of it to fill it up because it was kind of empty. And they saw that, and they just closed it right back up and said, you're good to go. And they never even looked in the other one. I was
They
like,
had the alcohol in it.
yeah, it's like, whoa.
So tell the people what you're doing.
Well, we're going up the mast today to get all the tin foil off.
And what's your
We got a
situation?
new bosun's chair for a fat boy bosun's chair. And it's a lot more comfortable.
Tim just said that there's a bird's nest up in the packing around the radar dome. So we had a whole list for Tim to bring back stuff when he went to Arizona, but he did some freelancing on
This wasn't on the list, but
on the whole list.
I couldn't believe it wasn't on the list, but here it is.
That's right. Pound plus.
Way to go, Trader Joe's. When you gonna get TJ Mexico to going? Trader Jose's.
Okay, it's day probably the 5th or 6th day total that we are working on the Windlass, counting all the days last season that we tried. We think we've ruled everything out except for the gearbox. We think that we found missing parts in the gearbox, and so Tim got the parts that we think we need when he went home to Arizona. And so today is the day that we hope the Windlass is getting fixed. How are you feeling about this?
Good. It's gonna work. Everything works out.
He said, it's good. It's gonna work. Everything works out, is what he just said. Meanwhile, I am taking advantage of having the forward hanging locker and the bow belly storage area all torn apart to file some more things away, get those out of our life. We are slowly but surely making our way into turning this boat from a construction zone back into an actual sailing vessel. So, it's a good day here. So you came back,
I got the wrong kit, which is the above deck kit.
which you caught before you left
Exactly.
Phoenix.
Then the below deck kit is back ordered. But I knew that keyway was too big because I tried one before I left from above.
So now we've got spare parts for the above deck
Yeah,
stuff.
2 of those.
And that
So
was
then
not
I
our
bought-
fault. That was Maxwell. They gave us the wrong part number.
So I bought the next size down that I could at an Ace Hardware. There was quarter, which I had one with me so I could compare it. So I bought the next size down, and it's too small. So it's a special size. So I'm going to wrap a bunch of seizing wire around it and just jam it in there until the kit comes. Where is the seizing wire? Where are the pliers to cut it?
I asked you what you needed,
Lineman,
and you said,
please.
I don't know. So the wire too big, too loose. So Tim ended up just wrapping electrical tape around the keyway.
Just don't know if that's gonna clear. It certainly should.
And why are you having to do that? Because that's not the right size either.
Yep. The key is missing and the little spring clip that holds it.
Yeah.
That's all that's in this kit. But it's a special size key.
And ring. Apparently.
And well, there were a bunch. What was I just bought? The smallest one I bought 3 sizes. Look at that. And the smallest one is just a little bit too big. And if we were in San Diego, I'd just run down the street and pick up a couple more. And if I'd have done what Mike told me, I should have measured that keyway. But it still doesn't wipe out that the kit that's coming it's a special size freaking key for this application.
And so this holds the keyway in.
Yep. And that's what the mystery is how did all of that fall out? Probably when you were anchoring and janking it around and just, I know it was you anchoring it around. Because the anchor was fine until you went up and did the anchor.
8 feet out of the way.
Yeah. Okay. This should be down. Alright. I gotta drop it. I can't.
Yeah, that's fine.
Bring it all the way up over. Alright, now drop it.
Babe!
Drop it. Teeny bit more.
Yeah.
I told you I'd MacGyver this thing together even if I didn't have the right parts.
Nice job. In our next episode, we finish getting the boat ready to leave, celebrate Thanksgiving, and finally set sail.
Mexico. Come for the sailing, stay for the boobies.